Yes, I, a special one from the CEO, stand coming with the spoon. And your boy, Friday the Southern Band, charges on the beat.
To the spoon to get your information. To the spoon to be part of our discussion. Spoon, spoon, spoon television. Spoon, spoon, spoon radio station.
Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Liberia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Monrovia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Africa. Just to spoon you will know. If the children crying for starvation, just to spoon. You want to get a news update, brother, to spoon. You want to know what is happening in Monrovia, to spoon. Politicians want to make their decision, just to spoon. You want to know what's happening in the ministry, to spoon. To spoon. To spoon. You from Bonjema, Maryland, to spoon. To spoon. If you eat kepa, graduate, my brother, to spoon. You got a spoon TV, you got a spoon radio, to spoon. To spoon. You wanna get a news update, to spoon. What? Yeah, Rastafari. Kilibamba, 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 kilibamba. What I want? Yes, what you got today?
Spoon TV. Spoon.
Yes, what you got today?
Spoon. Spoon TV. Spoon.
Skibidi dabado.
Spoon TV. Spoon entertainment. To the spoon to get your information. To the spoon to be part of our discussion. Spoon, spoon television. Spoon, spoon radio station. Spoon television.
Yes, I, a special one from the CEO, stand coming with the spoon. And your boy, Friday the Southern Band, charges on the beat.
To the spoon to get your information. To the spoon to be part of our discussion. Spoon, spoon, spoon television. Spoon, spoon, spoon radio station.
Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Liberia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Monrovia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Africa. Just to spoon you will know. If the children crying for starvation, just to spoon. You want to get a news update, brother, to spoon. You want to know what is happening in Monrovia, to spoon. Politicians want to make their decision, just to spoon. You want to know what's happening in the ministry, to spoon. kilibamba, 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 kilibamba. What I want? Yes, what you got today? Yes, what you got today? Beseku. Bada 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 bada. Skibidi bidi da bado.
Okay, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all of you across the world. It's a great way to welcome you to another edition of the program. This is the late night show, the late night politics on Spoon. I'd like to say thanks to everyone for joining us tonight. As always, this is where we talk about Liberia. This is where uh, we bring you the updates. We bring you objective analysis on those issues as they unfold every single day. We make sure that we talk Liberia here every night, that regardless of where you are, what your political views are, you can always have a space here to add your voice to the national discourse. And the late night show is back on your radio. And I want to welcome everyone tonight. Sincere apologies for the quality of my voice. I'm a bit under the weather. Let's hope we can have a great show tonight. Let's hope we can have a great conversation coming up. And thanks to everyone for joining us. As always, we're streaming live across the internet. We're live on Facebook, Spoon TV, Fabric TV, and Super TV. We're live on YouTube, Spoon Talk Live, and many thanks to all of you who have joined us across the internet. We are across Radio Lane. We are live on Spoon FM 107.5, Fabric Radio 101.1, and other radio stations across the country that are always relaying the program. We appreciate you sincerely. And many thanks to Trust FM, Gibi FM, Premier FM, Radio Yalaman, and a host of other radio stations across Liberia that are always relaying the show. My name is Nelson Collet. Let's hope we can have a great show tonight. A lot to talk about. So many things happening across the country. And we are here tonight to run the late night show together. You on the other side, from the comfort of your homes, some of you at work, some of you engaging actively, making your contributions in the comment section, and we on this side, of the screen, joining in as well from different locations. Let's hope we can have a great show tonight. I want to welcome everyone. Kindly share the program as you join us. Let me go to the comment section and recognize a few of you. I see Tommy Jr. has joined us. Thanks a lot for being here tonight. Joseph Head is here. Kindly share the program as you come on tonight, folks. We will definitely appreciate for you to do that. Stephen Collet is joining us tonight. Mariam Bimba is here as well. Thanks for joining us. Moses Colley, we appreciate your contribution tonight. And let me recognize William B. Morris. Says, I'm watching from Texas. I love this show, man. Yes, we appreciate the fact that you always come in as well to join in. to join the show. We love the fact that he loved the show. Thanks for always joining us. Rogers Mohammed is following tonight. Thanks for joining us. Lovette Bundle, our own dear sister, we appreciate you. Thanks for being here with us. Um uh, Doyo Konta Ikemba. Hope I got the name right. Thanks for joining us from Old Road. Aston Capel is joining us tonight. Joseph Tano Mora has joined us. Thanks for being here. Abubakar Sadiku is joining us from Nigeria. Thanks for being here. Dolo Dolo is here tonight. Says Liberia needs a military leader. I like it, and I appreciate a whole lot when you guys express your thoughts in the comment section, and that tells us the diversity of views we will always have on different issues every day. Yes, so thanks a lot. Yes, and to all of you, Natalie Weir, Hurricane Wayne, Jerry Gitawe, Eric McGill, as always, thanks for being here. J Vitality Vibes, thanks for joining us. Hipko Cassie, it's been a long time. Hipko joined in. He joined the show yesterday when we were already closing. We appreciate you for coming on early today. Natana Cahill is here. Hashim Famule, as always, has joined us on the show tonight. Otis Powell is joining from Maryland County. Kuka Watson is joining us tonight. Harry Tape is here. Henrique Sidi Myers, Adam Kamara, Ben Francis. Yes, everyone, welcome to the show tonight. Let's hope we can have a great conversation. This is about Liberia. And let me go across and bring the team on. I see Mr. Jelau Sende is joining us tonight. He's joining us from Grangea County. New Mexico, that's where the guy is. Jelau Sende.
Well, you said the right thing at first. I'm in Grangea.
Grangea in New Mexico.
Yeah,
Do you guys have New Mexico in Grangea County?
No. This is pure Grangea. I'm on a farm right now. I'm way in Grangea. Yes, I'm in my village of Duojibli.
Duojibli.
Yes.
But that farm, I see a lot of people will go to work, sitting there behind computer, and say on the farm, another day on the farm. Listen, the people in the interior, that thing will be making it angry. Let me just tell you now. That thing will be making it angry. Bida Soiree, thanks for joining us. Let me bring Bida on. Imagine someone is on the farm. The man told him, he woo on his shoulder. He get a cutlass. He get 2 children, maybe one on your back, one in your hand. The cutlass on the other side, the woo on the other side. As soon as the man puts it down, the next thing you go and brush. He will brush the whole day, do some hard labor work. Now on the farm. Then somebody, for example, now Cindy, the way Cindy said it now, Cindy put computer on, he typing his AC on, his AC on, he got his snack right near him, he got the bottle of juice, then he got something, you just drank something, Jenna. What was that?
Water. It comes from the Dubo River on the farm.
Then you got all that comfort. Then you say you on the farm. Listen, when I went on this trip recently in Nimba, somebody said I think it made it angry. So you're gonna be talking about it.
So Nelson, let me use this opportunity to educate you.
Listen. I know you can bring contest. I'm talking in this kind of contest.
This is actually an opportunity. This is an opportunity to educate you and many other people.
Go ahead.
Who only think of farming as the conventional way of farming that we are used to.
There you go.
That's the kind of farming we used to. When we think about farm, we think about the old man, the old pap, the old man, the old pap, with their low on their head, the collar in their hand. We all have to help to change that method of farming. They'll say, I'm a farmer. I grew up on the farm. And you know this, my brother. Every time I go to Liberia, I only spend the most 3 days in Monrovia. 3 days. The rest of the time is spent on my farm in Grand Gilead. And that's always the best part of my visit to Liberia. I think we should all get into farming, whether you live in Monrovia or you live. Let me tell you something else. Let me add like this guy tonight, Duado. He always come up with this story. I had 4 of my brothers in Monrovia, sitting in Monrovia doing nothing for many years. They would take the phone almost every week and call here for full money, for children's school fee, for this. You know what I told them? If we don't join the effort that I'm making Grand Gilead, move to Grand Gilead now and join that farm. Don't ever call again. 3 of them, as we speak, they actually live on the palm farm that we are, building in Grand Gilead. They live there and they love it. We have to encourage our people to get into farming. It's important.
Going back to the soil,
Yes,
and
it's important.
That's very important. But honestly, I knew you were going to come in with that.
There is a young man in Ganta. Let me promote him quickly. His name is Prince Nambe. Never left Liberia. Never lived somewhere outside of Nimba. He lived in Ganta. That man made over 50,000 US dollars in revenue, in profit every year from palm oil farm. He's only 32 years old. What is our excuse? What are we making excuses from? If Prince can do it,
anybody can do it.
Anybody can do
it. So you really convinced now that you've made your case very well to us, that you joining us on the farm. From behind your computer, your AC on, you drink mineral water. Yeah. You drink mineral water in mineral bottle, and you joining us on the farm.
Yeah, the farm money can come from.
But it's a great thing, and was it the president or someone recently said that we should look around us instead of always looking ahead and looking in the distant, looking far places for, looking at long distance for what we want. Sometimes it's right around us. We just have to open our eyes to the opportunities we have in this country, and we can reap a whole lot. So again, we're here. I want to say thanks to everyone. Bila, you want to do your opening, and then we get started from here, because I think Cindy already did his.
Yeah, let me say good evening to you, Cindy, and to folks watching about radio. I want to say always thanks to each and every one of you who always taking the point of time, to come and listen to us. And we have a sharing more of education. You've been in a comment section contributing as well. We like to say keep sharing the show. Always for the information to get out there. There are a lot of things happening in Liberia. When you look at it, you want to say political issues. It's more trending like social, like I've been following. You say religious issues or other issues. So there's a lot we need to discuss in regards to our country. And I think it's always a pleasure to be back and discuss Mama Liberia. Leslie, thank you for having us as well.
Thank you, Bila. Thanks for being here tonight. Sandy, you want to do your opening now?
No, I want to just join in and say I'm looking forward to a great show, Nelson. I don't have a lot on my mind. I think I did my opening. We should all get back to the soil. Thank you for bringing up that topic. I think it's important. We go to other countries, we see a lot of young people investing into agriculture. People are growing what they eat. People are, becoming millionaires from just farming. Ghanaians are doing it. Ivorians are doing it. There are other Liberians too now. A lot of young Liberians that are actually getting into farming. We have the soil. We have good, climate. I think we should start thinking in the direction of just in the direction of getting to agriculture than just looking for the office job. You know, Liberian men, we like to sit in this kind of comfort space, right? Where the AC is on and we don't want to make our hand dirty. So, again, just thank you for bringing that topic up, Nelson, sincerely. I think it's important that maybe one day we get into it.
Yeah, definitely. So I want us to get started. You know, a lot is happening in the country, and you know, at the early stage of this administration, and let me just say this, that today in Liberia is the 21st of August, and it's gonna mark 7 months exact, or maybe we want to wait until tomorrow. A few hours from now, it's gonna be 7 months exact since this government came into power. Since President Boakai took the oath of office, he was sworn into office and presented that beautiful inaugural address that was met by lots of challenges on the inauguration day, led to people panicking, being very concerned about the well-being of the president. But it's been about 7 months. Few hours from now, we're going to be talking about 7 months since the president took office, since the Unity Party was inaugurated. 7 solid months. What this means is that we've gone past the halfway mark in the first 1 year of this administration. And we have just 5 months, and we'll be talking about 1 year. From the onset, a lot of people had expectations for the government. And majority of those people attached timelines to those expectations. Some people say, oh, okay, I expect that the government will do this. The government will build the roads. The government will kickstart on a very good note. But at least in the first 6 months, we will start to see some tangibles. There were others who said, no, 6 months is too long. In the first 3 months of the administration, I expect to start to see some tangibles. Well, for those people, that 3-month grace period or whatever has passed, it has elapsed. The 6-month people, it has also elapsed. There were others who said maybe after 6 months. Okay, now tomorrow or so we'll be talking about 7 months. And there were others who said in the first 1 year, then maybe we will start to criticize the government if we're not seeing what we hope, we anticipate, what we think this government should start to do for the country. If we don't see it in the first 7 months, in the first 8 months, then of course we will draw a conclusion that maybe the government is not living up to our expectations. Some said 1 year, others said 2 years, but it's gonna be 7 months. Now, at the early stage of this government, Mobile, welcome to the show. The war and economic crimes court became a major conversation in the country. Why? There were others who thought that the government shouldn't have started on this note of war and economic crimes court. There were others who thought that it was very necessary for the government to do so. The government started the conversation around this, went to the House of Representatives, it passed through, went to the Senate signed it, went to the desk of the president set up the Office of War and Economic Crimes Court in Liberia. And there were hopes that things would take off at a very smooth pace, and in no time, Liberians would start to see people who committed mayhem during the civil unrest being prosecuted. Now, the recent oration, the orator, raised serious concern about how the chairman or the head of that whole office of the War and Economic Crimes Court was selected, and the president listened. Now it is open, there's some vacancy, there will be voting and stuff like that with respect to who becomes the next head, since Senator Massaquoi is no longer in the picture. In the midst of everything we're talking about, former lawmaker Komani Wise is saying that, look, he had a lengthy interview this morning. He's raising some serious concerns about this whole War and Economic Crimes Court in the country. Former Senator Komani Wise is saying that the establishment of War and Economic Crimes Court will have absolutely no impact on the many challenges that the country is going through right now, ranging from bad road connectivity to poor healthcare delivery to the massive educational system to bad governance, to all the different issues that the country is faced with. War and Economic Crimes Court is going to be another distraction. It's going to be one of those ventures that will have absolutely no impact on the ordinary people. So he went on to propose to the government, he went on to make suggestions to President Boakai that if this government should succeed, then they should rather forget about that whole War and Economic Crimes Code conversation and then focus on road connectivity, the arrest agenda, the massive educational system, improving the healthcare sector, so that Liberians who stood in the rain in the sun to vote for this government will start to feel the great impact of this administration. The former senator is saying that in the absence of this, the whole War and Economic Crimes Court will be a total distraction. Liberia or the administration should give attention to or live by the Accra Peace Accord. Forgive those people who committed mayhem. Let the country progress. So this is what he's saying. Well, there are different views to this. There are others who think that the only way this country will see peace is when justice is served and that perpetrators of war crimes can be brought to justice. They can be made to account for what they did. But while this conversation is going on, Senator Prince Johnson, in an interview today, went on to deny and distance himself from reports of killing or executing people from a particular tribe in the country during the Civil War. And he's expressing disappointment in Liberians who are spreading such lies against him. And he wants them to desist. He wants Liberians to promote peace and unity in order for the country to move forward. And he also spoke to this ongoing civil servants situation and what the CSA is doing. And he wants to see the government to stop dismissing civil servants from their jobs. He thinks instead of dismissing civil servants, the president should rather press on officials of government people in your government who are making more money, cut the salaries of those people in order to get the country moving forward, in order to maybe cut down on wasteful spendings. So the next thing is that the government is officially announcing outbreak of the monkeypox in the country. They said they've confirmed 5 cases so far now in 3 counties, and they're urging citizens to take preventive measures because this is serious. Citizens should try to protect themselves and stuff like that. And there is this issue about wildlife invasion is still ongoing. I remember the last time this issue was raised, the Grand Cape Mountain and that of Bowman County senators, they raised the issue about how elephants and other wildlife species are destroying farmlands and the crops in their respective counties, and they're calling on the Forestry Development Authority to intervene. In some cases, the residents of the community of a particular area will be indoor when the wildlife are coming outside. And so they want the government, especially the Forestry Development Authority, to move in and see how best they can handle the situation. And then finally, there was a video I got today. Someone shared with respect to this drugs situation. And we'll be playing that as well. The issue of drugs or the fight against drugs is something that the government needs to take seriously, because the importers or the people who are involved with the sale of drugs have developed several strategies as to how they go about this particular activity. I saw a video today where people who selling potato greens, in an OO pickup, in an OO testing, then they can load, they test the back of the testing with potato greens, fuel leaf, and those different kinds of stuff. And the first time I heard about that was from someone, and I didn't take that seriously. But the LDEA was carrying on, some search. And you'll be shocked to know that in Sunday potato green branch, that bundle, they uncovered a huge quantity of narcotic substance, which signals that the government itself needs to do a whole lot with respect to the fight against drugs. But this is where we are. And Mobile, you came in a bit late, so I think we'll move into the conversation now. I want us to start with this call from the former Senator Kamani Wise, calling on the government to avoid this whole issue of war and economic crimes court. That is not going to have any benefit on the country. That instead of establishing war and economic crimes court, the government should rather be focused on road connectivity, health, improving the health sector, and all of that. Sandy, let's start with. Mobile came in a bit late, so since he didn't get to do his opening, let's start with Mobile, and then we can go around the table.
Yeah, thank you, Nursing. Thank you to my fellow panelists, Sandy and and thank you to our main listener on radio, Facebook, and YouTube as well. Look, let me just start with the War and Economic Crime Code. Look, Nursing, I think when we read it, sometimes for the past months, even before election and after election, we discussed the issues. And we get a lot of points. Everybody came up with very brilliant points. But end of the day, Nursing, I'm sitting here thinking, if that identical war and economic crime court will be established. The last time I checked, the amount of money that the people need to start. Almost closer to our budget, right? If I'm making mistake. And secondly, they representative will say what they want to say, more especially the representative, what he needs to,
he's a former senator.
oh, he's a former senator. Okay. Come we say, I know the person from, I think Grand Judah, right? Sano, okay, Sano, right?
Moba, yeah, go ahead.
Okay, sorry, yeah. No, I don't want to be on call. That's why, yeah. Yeah, okay. But listen, Mr. We were in the house before. I know that puppy. He was there before. And a lot of time during his term, they never discuss it. So but right now he even thinking like for me, I'm thinking he even thinking about it for them to even put on the floor. I mean for them to even talk about it, I want in look at and discredit the whole thing, they will forget about one economic code and focus on development. As much we all want to do, as much we all focus on development, but we need accountability for a lot of people who commit a lot of crime in our country. They kill innocent people. And for Prince Johnson, the thing is, nobody is calling your name. You yourself, anytime we hear about war and economic crime code, you get so that type of way. You feel that people talking to you. People not talking to you. All you need to do I expect you to embrace the code, to go to take on the social media, to tell the government, the Liberian government, which is Joseph Imam Bouaga, the president, to make sure that the code can so you can exonerate yourself.
But again, Moba, I want us to get something clear here. The former lawmaker is saying that this code is going to be of no benefit. Instead of spending a very good amount of money to bring a code that's going to prosecute just a few people, the government should rather focus her attention or divert all of the energy towards making the health sector a better one, improving the road connectivity, so that the ordinary Liberian down there who doesn't have access to good road, good health system can be able to benefit. Do you agree with this call that the senator is making?
I agree with some part of his word. Well, he thought about the government should focus on making our people live a better life, giving them safe drinking water, electricity, and better education, which of course I agree with him totally. But he can tell the government to stop, to stop for the people to not investigate or to not bring the war in economic crime code. Look, everybody got to get accountability in nursing. If you do bad, go there and exonerate yourself, because the thing is not like a witch hunt. But in all indication, right, my thinking here, I'm sitting right here, what I'm thinking on right now is that I believe within myself that the war economic crime code will be established on Joseph Imam Bouaga. Although they did all the paperwork, everything is on course, but they need the most important asset, which is the financial aspect, so that it can be able to execute the identical war and economic crime code. So for him coming up, I think it ain't got nothing to do with people living a better life. It ain't got nothing to do with it, because in a sense, nursing, that money not coming from government cover. It's not coming from anybody's pocket. The money coming from, I think, probably the international or the American to form an identical code. So you see, so there's no way the former representative can say they should focus on. Yes, I agree with him. Senator, I agree with him. They can focus on other things, but when it comes to World Economic Code, let people go and exonerate themselves. Because at the end of the day, people still living with that grief in their heart. A lot of people were murdered even their children. A lot of people were murdered even their wives and their husbands. So people got to go and get accountability for those things. And a lot of people were murdered even on television. So people got to go and pay and get accountability for that. So for the World Economic Code, we say every day we embrace it. We want it to come. We want for the government. The only thing that you get people talking about it, but I tell anybody this, I don't want to discuss anything that probably I don't see no action. Let me frank. I want to discuss. Even when it comes, probably I'll just give one or two opinions and be done with it. Because now I want they say words speak loud. Action speak louder than words. Let the action speak. When you say something, let it start working. Let people see we went to the access recovery thing. It died. Now we do investigation. They holding people accountable. We won't see nobody in person. We see people walking free. And we see people money there on Facebook. How many people doing that? How many people getting there? How many people doing it? All the money. End of the day, it's not what we. It's not what we on the show for. We're on the show to get the Liberian people accountability on every aspect of the government. So for the World Economic Council, I can tell you today and tomorrow I support it 100%. And the bread and butter issue, I respect the president as much, and we will keep putting your feet to the fire because we need our country to be safer. We need for people, even from the war side, all the way to the people who destroy our country by stealing a lot of money from the Liberian people, should be held liable and should bear the weight, and our property should be confiscated, and our money in their account, the government should seize it and put it in the government account so that our brothers and sisters can get good education, our medical facility can work, and other things. So that whole war, the war and economic crime, I support it 100%. And the other aspect, I support it. But I want the government, I want the action, I want to see people hang up, going to jail. There are people opening one investigation on all the criminals, all the people that keep taking the Liberian people money. Thank you. Sandy.
Man, you had your way on this time. I don't know if you, I thought you were not going to start. But look,
I'll pour my opening, my man.
Look, the issue of war and economic crimes court is belated. The senator coming up now and saying this shouldn't be a priority is late. This issue has been debated by the Liberian people. We argue it in the mainstream media. The Liberian people, those on ground in the country, gave their opinion on whether there should be a war and economic crimes court established. The representatives of our country pass it into law. The Senate approved, the president signed. So for the senator now to come back and say, look, this thing is not going to bring development. It's not going to take care of the ordinary people. It's not going to build the roads. We heard all those arguments. We heard those arguments. We said the same thing on this particular show. And those that we have elected from our various districts to represent us, to represent our interest, to speak on our behalf, says this is what we want. When it went to the Senate, the same Senate where the senator, the former senator who's speaking now, coming in, we said it from River G, that same Senate, there was only one person who did not vote. The rest of the senators, 49 of them, voted in favor.
29. Yeah, 29. 29 of them.
29 of them, sorry, we have 30. 29 of them voted in favor of the War and Economic Crimes Court. Former Senator Komini Wise alone cannot prevent what has been passed by the lawmakers.
He's making a suggestion at this point, Sandy.
And I think the suggestion is late. Some of these suggestions were made. It's late. What I want to agree with Magba is that we want to see action. But again, I do want to believe, like I've said here, several people say here on this show, the establishment of the War and Economic Crimes Court will not be the bill that will establish the War and Economic Crime Court will not be a Liberia's bill. I'm talking about the financial bill. I'm talking about the check. This thing has been pushed by the international community. meaning the United States of America and other governance bodies,
Rudolph,
non-profit,
can you
and
remove your
yeah, the
hand?
main finger, NGOs that have been pushing for accountability, transparency, and justice in Liberia. Those people, I believe, will fund this. I want to say, however, the process may be going a little too slow. But again, there could be some background work. I mean, background works. I think there are background works being done. And maybe we just need to exercise a little bit more patience and allow the government and its international partners to work on establishing the
Okay, so
war and
let me
economic
put it
crime.
this way, Cindy. Let me put it this way, just before we move to Bida. I want to welcome Rudolph and Raymond to the show. Now, Cindy, if you were to have war and economic crimes code on the table, you have road, healthcare, um, you have some of those priority areas. On one hand, you have war and economic crimes code. On the other hand, which of the two will you go for?
Nelson, before let me say this. Let me say this. You want a direct answer, but let me say this to you. I debated on this platform that we should move ahead as a country and not establish war and economic crimes code. I'm on the record for it here. I said, if it's up to me, let's move on. And that is coming from the mouth of someone who was heavily affected by this war. Heavily. But you ask a question. Where we are now, given that our representation approve it, it has been passed into law. We can walk, chew gum at the same time. Especially if the monies that will be used to establish this court will not come from the Liberian people budget, which I believe this will be sponsored by our international community. So if that is the case, we can walk and chew gum at the same time.
Thank you. Bida, let's hear you on this, and then we'll bring Rudolph in.
No, thank you. From 1989 to 2003, there's a lot that happened. So to have listening to somebody who is alleged or somebody who carry an allegation of being attached to war criminal, I think it is the diversionary tactics, and people want to distract the minds of Liberians. And I want to say it is the means of wanting to be heard. In the space of Liberian politics, people want to talk. People want to come up with unnecessary suggestion in the name of a discussing issue. I think that's what the senator did. But here's the thing, Nelson. The war and economic crime code that we all have come on the platform to say it is a process. And firstly, before we make progress, I want to thank the president for listening, because if you are a leader, I think you should have some level of listening ear. I think there has been a lot of hulu around this massacre, consider massacre man. People who went to the TRC and worked with the TRC, they gave a lot of revelation about consider massacre. He doesn't represent, he undermines the war, the establishment of the war economic critical. We listen to most of the argument. And I think the advice that have been given to the president, in listening to that advice, I think we should appreciate the president for that. Because for anything to make progress, the head of that individual should be somebody who amplify some level of responsibility.
Yeah,
Or some level of leadership.
and I know you're going to this the whole team and the action that has been taken so far. But again, I want us to go back to what some of the issues that the former senator is raising here.
Yeah.
You need roads. You need good healthcare system. Are these things more important than the war and economic crimes court? Or should we prioritize Or should we let go the War and Economic Crimes Court, go for these things? I mean, if you were to put these things on a scale, the things that are on the arrest agenda, road connectivity, and the other things that goes with that, to that of the War and Economic Crimes Court, which of the two you think is should be more of a priority for this administration? He spoke about the need for us to focus on promoting the peace of the country, doing things that will better the lives of the ordinary people, rather than the government focusing on War and Economic Crimes Court. Bida, where do you stand with respect to this issue that the former senator is raising?
So I think his argument is more of coming from the issue of what the TRC talk about enduring the culture of impunity, where back on the background we should have a Palawa Hub meeting, and people that were even involved, like the Tasoya people who was forcibly into the very rebel fashion should be transformed. There are a lot of things the PRC even talk about, and that we can move forward. That I think that is the argument. But again, what becomes of those that are in there that are been yearning for the issue of justice? For me, I don't see any sense of reasoning in his argument, because if you look at government and have an agenda, then you see the government should let go certain part of his or her agenda and focuses on one. I think that questions a lot of understanding about even the walking across. So yeah, it's the thing. We have always come on these public discourses or whatsoever conversation that we have had and talk about the World Economic Council. For people to sit and believe that World Economic Council will not bring some level of development, I think people need to go further and read, because if we read the particular article or the particular communication that we established the World Economic Council, there's a lot that will be coming to our country in terms of economic growth, right? So I believe that it will not only be about people going to court and having justice, but it will always it will also create a means of job for people who lender people and people who have other technical and basic discipline. So I don't think it's all about just what the senator thinks about. Right.
Thank you. Rudolph, let's hear you on this quickly. We want to transition.
I mean, I will be very quick on this one. First of all, let me say good evening to you guys, gentlemen. It's been a long time away. Thank God I'm back. Nelson, I cannot agree with Sandy more. Sandy said that this thing is late. I share that same view. I mean, and to be honest with you, at this point in time, I think we are wasting our time to even be going back on this conversation, because I mean, this thing has already been agreed by the people who we have sent to who we have sent as our voices in the house. They have agreed. We have chanted for them to. We have asked for this for years, and they have finally agreed to do it. So I think this is late. But just to make a little clarification, many people have a narrow understanding of this thing. They think that it's just war crimes code. It's a war and economic crimes code. And Nelson, in order for you to stop something from reoccurring, like, you have to go to the root cause. The reason for our condition, the primary reason for our current condition in Liberia, like the lack of infrastructure, lack of good hospitals and stuff like that, everything bottoms down to corruption. And this code is going to be helping to take us from that stage where we have people just working with impunity. So if you deal with this now, it doesn't just have a short-term effect. It has a long-term effect as well. Because when you set this precedent, where you see people going to jail for looting our covers, people going to jail for stealing from the people, then you will realize that years to come, other people that will be in government, they are going to be afraid to do those same things, and with that, we will have money to invest in our healthcare sector. We will have money to invest in our education sector. We have money to invest in infrastructure. So if you just tell us that we should leave it now and focus on these things, that's a short-term I feel like you are just asking for a short-term solution. Because if you let's be honest here, our budget from now to the next 20 years, we can now solve all of our problems in healthcare, roads, and every other thing that he is asking for us to solve. We cannot. So why don't we focus on the root cause of these problems? Why? So yeah, honestly, I think I think it's late. I think we should move past this conversation because we have said it here times with our numbers, and I mean, like there's already a decision made, and we all should just respect it and move past this. Honestly,
Raymond, let's hear you.
Let me say good evening to all of the audience and you gentlemen in studio today. I don't know why our ladies are still away, but well, ladies usually are the mothers, so they got some other tasks to handle that we the gentlemen done. So let's do the talking. Well, the former senator or lawmaker has his right to his opinion, and I think when it comes to Liberia, we should all agree to disagree and disagree to agree. So we don't always have to have the same opinion on a subject matter, but every voice counts. But I disagree with his assertions or his reasoning. Even if Liberia has to pay every dime for the cost of prosecution of all those who cause war and economic crime to our country, we have to do it to restore sanity to our country, justice, the sense of justice, and to set history right. For all of us who will live as Liberians and pass away, for the injustice done to all those who were the victims of the war, that would be a sin on our hands. And if we feel comfortable sitting here,
we won't get
Oh,
love, but he can't make it on that. He ain't man
but
Nelson.
it does need to, yeah, yeah, to
I
the
can no,
audience, I
but
think
use
our
I can use the mentor. My older
wait,
brother. The man is a brother to me. I can
the
use
man
the
is
can you
mentor.
back.
hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, you are glitching in, my man. I don't know why we're on your internet.
Yeah,
What
and
really
I
went
see two
wrong right now.
Nelson frozen. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, you can be talking on the next account. So long, I thought
So what I'm trying to
go
say,
ahead.
it's a duty to our country to ensure that those who are victimized by the atrocity carried on by those who thought they had the weapons and the arms and the evil in their heart to do evil to their Liberian brothers and sisters. No. Then why do we have jails in our country with people in jails? When we can choose which justice to administer and another justice to let go. We're not a serious people if we would choose to do that. I mean, there's no argument. I know when I was a child, the temple of justice said, let justice be done to all men. And we know that justice was blind. So justice do not reason beyond any other thing than injustice. Justice do not understand injustice. So as a former lawmaker, someone who took the oath to uphold the Constitution, he should not be making such an argument. But again, like we said, everyone's entitled to their argument. But what the basis of our argument? To who benefits? Like everyone have said, we got a budget up to around 700 million annually, right? And we know that the request for the War and Economic Chronicle setup was just about $3 million. That does amount to our budget. But the significance it has to do with our going forward and our rebuilding process is enormous. Enormous, right? We need justice. We need to set precedents. We need to bring closure to this thing so that others and people to follow will realize that this country means business. No one can just get up any day and do anything anyhow because they got the power or they got the influence somehow to do it. They will know that they will have to account for it going forward. And that will serve as a precedent to stop these kind of acts of corruptions, injustice, and other things going on in our country. That's the only way we will strive as a society and all the other things we want. How can we have rules?
if we can destroy the roads later and nobody can be held accountable? How can we have hospitals where someone can set a fire on a hospital later and nobody can be held accountable? How can we even build a hospital when someone can steal the hospital money and nobody can hold them accountable? I mean, I don't understand the argument. I believe that this government came to power on the mandate of the Liberian people on one of the pillars of justice, promising the establishment of the War and Economic Crimes Court. And this government have to deliver on that. And that's going to be the rating after all is said and done. And if they can't deliver this, I will be one of those who will stand strong to criticize them and give a new person an opportunity to do that. Hopefully, Arizona Commies, hopefully, Taiwan Gonglo, and the likes. But we know George Weah and the CDC do not stand for justice because they had 6 years. They did not implement this, and that was a failure. That's why George Weah got booted out. And I hope this government will not repeat that. Thank you.
Thank you, Raymond. So Vasco, we're going to give you just 1 minute on this because we were just about making our transition when you came in. But let's hear your take on this issue quickly.
All right, let me say hi to you guys and hi to our audience. So, I mean, you see, in this life, that's why call me, every one of us different. Some people have their own way of looking at things. So I don't think we have to beat on the senator. The senator has his own view. He knows what he's looking at. Okay? You have a government who will not achieve anything. And this government is leaving the major issue, which is the bread and butter issue, and looking at going out there to spend huge sum of money. I want the war crime code. I mean, all the war crime code. But I think the former senator is speaking from a point that he wants the government that he supported to not take the issue of the war crime code to be a priority right now. The country and the people that was stood under the rain, the sun that was running all in the poo-poo water, those people need to be rescued. That's the first thing you need to do, to rescue your citizens first. We see how the people angry in the country, crying, and you want to leave it. I hear somebody talking about, oh, America got their own issue. They're not going to take money and send it to you yet. That the United Nations, they don't want back the war crime code in Sierra Leone. You think that UN get time for the thing I was doing in Liberia? This is a commitment that the president made to some people. Few guys from the American era yet. To use him to be able to get what they want to get. So that commitment now is stuck in your throat. They're fighting hard to get it out there. But one thing that baffles me, if you see the first lady of the country, nobody in the country killed equal to Boy Nikki. But Nikki got a video, he make it clear. He said he killed more than I don't know how many thousand people. Personally. But at the first lady best friend, since the first lady came to power, the boy in her office, the only place she can visit a Boy Nikki. And then
so let's do this. Let's do this, Vasco. Let's do this, right? The first lady, like any other person, has the right to associate or disassociate with anyone.
Okay.
You are talking about the first lady, Vasco.
Yeah.
But then someone may be asking, over the past 6 years, over the past 6 years, no, don't say Nelson was in a very close relationship with Senator Prince Johnson. Should someone drag the CDC for having that proximity with Senator Prince Johnson, especially going to the point where they went to the election, they sat on the table, they had agreements and all of those things. So I want us to go to the issue of Vasco.
But Nelson, can I just do some quick facts checking? First of all, the first lady does not go to visit Bodneke. No, he is leading a course that she goes to visit.
Very good with a disadvantage.
Okay, and number two, Vasco, you have to understand that the U.S. is the biggest financial supporter of the UN. Just so you know, if you didn't know that.
So Vasco, please conclude quickly so we take.
Okay, let me go. No, when I'm speaking, y'all always come there to say things. There ain't no problem. Look, Nelson, Prince Johnson. Almost everybody in the country have associated themselves with Prince Johnson. So don't bring Prince Johnson on out there. Because even the current president, we saw him and Prince Johnson together a few times. We're talking about butt naked. Even Prince
but Vasco again, the discussion is not about butt naked and all those kinds of things. No. Vasco, maybe you are not following the show. Vasco, the War and Economic Crime Code process is going on. In the midst of this, the former Senator Commonly Wise is coming in to say that the government should disregard the process. The government should rather focus on building roads, making sure that the healthcare sector is better, improving the educational system, than focusing on War and Economic Crimes Code. This is a suggestion coming from former Senator Commonly Wise. He wants the Bwaka administration to promote peace rather than War and Economic Crimes Code because he thinks it's going to further divide the country.
Merci. And that's what I said. I said we shouldn't beat on the former senator because of his view. It's up to the Bwaka administration to listen or to not listen. Like I said, for me, I want a war record. I wanted a victim of the war. I lost my father during the war. But you see, sometimes in that country, people trying to put, and I'm gonna lie to you, if this president focus on the issue of the war crime code, it's not coming, Nelson. It's not coming. So that you focus on the basic things that the people need.
Thank you.
That's not coming. We'll come by here in the next 4 or 5 years. We'll be saying that right here.
Thank you.
It's not coming to Liberia.
Thank you very much, Vasco.
But they get like the friend, their best friend.
Thank you. I know you want to go back there, but let's hear from Toure quickly. Toure, just take 1 minute of this because we want to transition quickly.
Yeah, guys. Once again, thank you, man. Glad to be back on. But yeah, Nelson, you know, look, we are progressing, man. There's a lot of things to be positive about. Obviously, one of the many things is the fact that we have a leader that listens, and you can tell from some of the decisions that President Joseph Boakai have made recently. Everything permeating from the fact that we had an orator who touched on a lot of the stuff that she felt was not done properly, and the president obviously have rescinded on some of those decisions, and the president have actually gone back. So that is a trend of a good leader, you know, someone who listens and then act on these recommendations.
But Toure, you think do you see the possibility of the president listening to this recommendation coming from the former Senator Wise?
Well, Nelson, when somebody when somebody do one thing one time, there is absolutely no doubt in my mind that if those recommendations fits within the scope of what is happening, the president will definitely abolished. So the look, I mean, when someone show you who they are now, Nelson, for the first time, believe them. You might have other reservation, but the fact that the president have actually demonstrated that he listens and he takes these things into consideration and then go back and make moves that indicates
that in fact the president listening to these things. So that is a very good steps in the right direction. And is a hallmark of a good leader, obviously. So
no, but where do you stand with regards to his suggestion to the government to disregard the court and focus on activities that will improve the lives of the ordinary people?
Nelson, I am so glad that someone is coming up with that kind of gravitas to actually speak on some of these issues. Nelson, all of us here can agree that our court system is convoluted. You know what I mean? Like, I mean this. All right. Anybody who feel, look, none of us here saying we're against rule of law. None of us are saying we're against a country that does not uphold to the values of rule of law. No, we live in a country where we are measured by what we do, and all of our steps is tailored to respecting rules and regulations. We want the same thing in Liberia. But Nelson, I'm telling you this, right? For any leader to make certain like development or maybe trying to change the status quo, you will have to take some unorthodox decision, right? Void of some of these, stuff that we have going. And I know it may sound very, very contravening to a lot of people, but I'm telling you, if you have a country that have been subjected to so many corruption, not only in a marketplace, but in a system of governance, matter of fact, in a judicial system, how do you win? How do you win that? We've seen a lot of things that happen in our country. We saw the
are you indirectly agreeing with the former senator that this court, World Economic Crimes Court, would not be the solution to the many issues that Liberians are faced with now?
Let me tell you, I personally, Nelson, to be quite honest, the World Economic Crime Court, I want it. You know what I mean? Because there is no time limit to when justice should be served. But there are a laundry list of things that need immediate address right now.
And the War Crimes Court is not one of
them. War and Economic Crime Court at this time, right? But should justice be served? Absolutely. But do we have to deal with other stuff that are life challenging?
When do you think we'll be prudent enough for this? If this is not the right time to read. What time? Yes or now?
We have seen justice being served to people that actually contributed to the Holocaust in Germany during World War II, right? We've seen people being charged with their role they played during the Holocaust, something that happened in 1940s. Some people are getting charged when they are in their 90s. Just last year, Opapi was charged in Portland. He's 92 years old. So it don't really matter. Look, you can still go back and charge people. You can charge people when they are dead, gone. You can charge them. That record reflect on the fact that so and so person, even if they are dead, right? But their grandchildren will have to walk in that walk of shame that their father or their grandfather or their uncle contributed to something, even when they are dead and gone. That record will be set, and their family and grandchildren have to walk that.
So Nelson, 10 seconds, please. 10 seconds.
Thank you very much, Ture. Guys, we have to transition. There's a lot.
Just 10 seconds, please.
To move on. Okay, so please take just 10 seconds quickly.
So, Ture, right? Let's use the example of our neighbor, Sierra Leone. Sierra Leone established the World Economic Crime Court. And the progress Sierra Leone has made and Liberia has made, we can see a difference. And you know why? Today, our number one problem in our country is impunity and corruption. And the War and Economic Crime Court stand to prevent that and to put a check to that. As much as the cost for the War and Economic Crime Court is around $250 million, we can afford that. The amount of money being stolen since 2 decades after war, it's been more than $1 billion. Look at the government just 6 years of the government under George Weah got us in debt over $1 billion. What has come out of it?
Thank you. Rema, let's hold you there. Let's hold you there. And quickly transition. We're going to talk about the the issues. Okay, sorry guys. We're going to talk about the other issues, but I want us to start from here, folks. Senator McGill, most of you saw the communication. Received a communication from the LECC inviting him. Now, on grounds that he served as the Minister of State for Presidential Affairs, the LECC wants him to answer some questions relative to the payroll padding at the Ministry of State for Presidential Affairs. The minister, on one hand, sees the letter as a good thing, but he thinks he's being witch hunted. He thinks he's being targeted by the Boakai administration. Now, I'm going to put the communication up briefly and then read for you what the senator wrote on his social media handle. Hope I can get this communication here. Okay, so this is the communication right here. Okay, so there you have it. Liberia Anti-Corruption letter of invitation. LACC presents its compliment and informs you that it has initiated an investigation into allegations of payroll padding at the payroll padding and act of corruption resulting from salary payments affecting a supplementary payroll containing 728 names at the Ministry of State for Presidential Affairs, which was allegedly created outside of the framework of the Civil Service Agency. Details of the allegations revealed that the supplementary payroll, which contained 728 names, was allegedly created on your instruction when you served as Minister of State for Presidential Affairs. Accordingly, the process was marred by irregularities amounting to payroll padding, administrative malpractice, act of corruption, and others. Given your position as Minister of the Ministry of State at the time, the LACC believes that you can provide more useful information to aid its investigation. Hence, you are invited. You are also advised to come with the legal counsel and all relevant documents to support your testimony. For convenience, the details of your appointment have been arranged as follows. Date: Wednesday, August 21, which is today, according to Liberian time, 11 o'clock a.m. Place: LACC headquarters, 2P Taylor Curve, Old Road, Monrovia. We appreciate your cooperation and partnership in the fight against corruption. Sincerely, Baba M. Boakai, Program Manager, Monitoring and Monitoring Investigation, blah, blah, blah. So this is what the LACC wrote to Senator McGill. And I want to read what the senator wrote in response. Now, he's yet to appear at the LACC, but he took onto his social media handle to react to the action or this invitation from the LACC. This is what the senator wrote. He said, in light of our sorry, I just can't post this up here now because it has to go through these different processes. But he said, in light of our unwavering stance against bad governance and the government's unsuccessful attempt to silence our voices, we have received formal communication from the Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission. They have requested my presence to provide information that will assist in their ongoing investigation into allegations of payroll padding and corruption related to salary payment on the supplementary payroll containing 728 names at the Ministry of State for Presidential Affairs. As public servant committed to transparency and accountability. No amount of allegation can deter or silence us. We remain resilient in our advocacy for transparency and accountability, and will continue to stand firm in our efforts to ensure good governance prevails. Out of respect for LACC, we attend the inquiry session scheduled for 11 o'clock a.m., after which I will address the press. So this is what he wrote. But I want us to look at the first paragraph where he says, in light of our unwavering stance against bad governance and the government's unsuccessful attempt to silence our voice, we have received formal communication. Now, so what the senator is saying in short is that the communication came about as a result of his stance on the fight against corruption, his call for good governance, and the good thing that he wants to see happening for Liberian people. The government don't want it, so the government targeting him. But I want us to start the conversation from here. Vasco, you don't need to bend your head over. This is very important for our people to understand. Liberians across this country are listening eagerly to hear what the analysis are around this particular issue. Now, I want us to start the conversation from here. And let's start with Moba. We're going to take Bida. And we'll go around the table.
Yeah, thank you, Nelson. Look, I saw the letter today from the LACC, but look, Nelson, look. The only way we will fight corruption in our country, I think everybody need to go by the steps. And there's the first giant step, and we should commend it. We shouldn't come and criticize it, because let him go vindicate himself. Let him carry document that prove that, oh yes, or when our minister of state, all the people that I give money to, because like people are bringing check to him was signing and his signature on it. And there's no way somebody will give something, you read on it and you just sign. So whenever your signature on anything, meaning you agree to that thing, is an oath. Your signature is almost like an oath to you. So all the checks that came out on his name and he signed those checks in his name. No matter what, you can go up, you can free me any type of way. But the main thing here is all the people he was giving the money to, all the people they put on payroll, the Vasco that are on payroll taking this whole thing, maybe 1,000 or 700, they were giving them 1,000, they were giving them 150. They banned money from that money where it was going. And in the document, it gave a very clear picture. It said it was giving so money, but the money that they were giving, not all were given to the people who were on the payroll. The Vasco now were getting free money. They were not doing anything. They didn't put on payroll because the fee they were chatting munya the day. So I think it is right, and the Liberian people, look, and I will say this to my brother from the other, the seditions. Look, for every nation to prosper, for every nation to come out the way that to develop and to focus on growth, you got to fight corruption. And the step the government taking, we also embrace it. We shouldn't come here and talk about politics and play politics about it. Let us what that. Let's see that kind. Okay, let me conclude now.
We want to go around the table.
Yeah, let me conclude. So you see, Nelson can only call people. Oh my man, Nelson got to start it. He doesn't tell my man 30 seconds. Let me conclude.
Okay, 30 seconds.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, but you know, like I'm appealing to the citizens, the people who all on the same page trying to fight corruption in the country. Let us rally around this government, and anybody they call, you shouldn't get beyond that point to say we protect women laws. Let the person go cry their own cry. Some of y'all, the Kevazan and Vasco, they also receive 500, some of them 700, but they were giving them $100 according to the document. So let it bring the document. Let us see where that money was intended for, what the purpose.
Thank you. Bida, let's hear you on this quickly.
No, thank you. And I think the senator talk about he wanting to strengthen governance by criticizing to talk about accountability. And this is the senator that was sanctioned for corruption, other malpractices in
Are you
government.
talking about accountability?
It's very appalling. And his response to the LECC is depleted. And I think it is just a means of wanting to bring some level of scareness to the real issue here. But let's appreciate the LECC, right? And always we come here campaign time and other times of governance of the CDC. We said Minister McGay back then was a de facto prime minister in the country, where there's a lot of things happening on his watch. That even sedition can allude to when it comes to the real aspect of our country going retrogressing. There is the minister who talking about he want to be witch hunter and talk about accountability. In our country, we don't take serious people serious. So at the end of the day, we just take power and give it to anybody. Like yesterday, we were discussing the issue about this sunshine deal and the Manisky Act and other business thing. I blame the electorates. And we talk about educating electorates. Who are those that you need to put in power? The likes of Maggie, they hurt that country to the extent where when the very allegation come to extensive, for me, I've always said it. I think it is about time the allegations should come to the door of the Liberian people. Where we should see somebody, guys, because at certain time point you want to say allegation, but there are report upon report that are talking about malpractices, administrative flaw, and other business things. Right?
So,
There are
but
report
Bila,
out saying this thing. So
do you for any reason? Is there any reason why uh the senators should not think that he's being witch hunted here?
no reason. And let us see this thing that son of witch hunting. We tired hearing that thing. I think that we should start hearing another thing. Because here's the thing.
Okay, no. Okay, so let's put it this way:
Vasco,
is there any reason why he should think that he's not being targeted? Because you know that this senator has been one of the loud voices on the how do you call it, the issue that has to do with the budget, that 20 million alteration of the budget, or diversion of budget line or whatever. But the senator is one of those persons who raise the alarm to the point where other lawmakers now connected to this particular thing started to come up to provide the clarity and then providing figures and stuff like that. But you know that he was very key. He's one of those persons who was a very loud voice when it comes to that. Is there any reason? Is there any reason why he should think that he's being targeted?
No reason. No reason. Absolutely. Here's the thing, Nelson. If you have the power to bring government officials to book by, implementing your oversight as a senator, and you want to hold them to book, if there's a report that's showing that shows some malpractices, I think it's very unique that you go and clear your name. Like always the police will come to you and say, my man, you just need to go clear your name. So let the senator go. The investigation is talking about he coming to give some usable information that will help them and to go further with the investigation. And I want to believe that there are some allegations of corruption there. I think it is prudent, like Mobile said, if he has some proven document to those very actions, because in the minds of the LECC, it might be malpractice, but if you have a legal document to substantiate your claim, it is very important that you go and get up the name of the thing.
Thank you very much. Let's take Rudolph, and then we take Vasco, and then Raymond.
Nelson, thank you. This whole thing, when you read the main message, Nelson, it tells you that, he is to a certain extent indicting himself. Because these people they are asking you to come and provide information that will help them in their investigation. They are not telling you, say, you stole or you carry on any form of corruption. So why get in a defensive mode? Who does that? I don't know any innocent man that when he is asked, to come and clarify, he will get defensive. Because when you read that message, the first paragraph, first of all, is a contradiction. And I think the man himself is a walking contradiction, Nelson. Because I mean, and just like my brother Bila said, this man was a de facto prime minister. So this is just the beginning of him being called. He will be called many, many times because there will be a lot of findings from these audits that he will have to come and provide clarity to. So it's just the beginning. So what? Why is he scared? Why is he scared? I don't get it. Why is he scared? And I think he is using the tactics of maybe inciting his followers again because that is what they are used to doing. I think that's the reason why Nelson, this war witch hunt. I mean, it is almost like a new war in to me again in Liberia because I mean I stopped hearing this word for some time now, but these few days it's the number one. It is like I don't know. It is the most search war in right now. Which one? And this is just a tactics to put their people on the street to incite them into violence. Because McGill, first of all, you were sanctioned for what? Corruption. And then you are telling us that you have been standing against corruption. Who are you? Why are you?
No,
Why are
maybe
you
he
trying to
became a chief, man. Maybe he became. No. Listen now. I don't know how to put this.
Right? Nelson, I was just on the phone with my mom before I came here, and we were talking something. She said, monkey can never be a blind being. So don't tell me about change. My girl name is not the way it was because he is not in a position like he was before. That is why we don't hear his name
Thank
like
you.
that. But my thing is, okay, good. Nelson, he's a change man.
30 seconds quickly. 30
He-
seconds quickly.
He's a change man, fine. So as a change man, go walk. Nelson. If you call me, you say, we have to ask you some questions with some things that have happened under your watch. And I know that I didn't do anything wrong, Nelson. I will sleep sound. I will wake up and walk and give
Thank you.
information. And that's all they are asking for. So
Let's
where is
hold you there,
the fear coming from?
Rudolph. Let's hold you there, Rudolph. Vasco, you can come in, and then we'll take Sandy next, and then Turay and. But Vasco, you have your time. I see you. Are you the new sign language panelist on the show? Or what?
At 3 or 8 minutes down there, sort of thrown me between them before I've been talking the 3 minutes. I can't talk my ear will be hurting.
Come on, man. Go ahead, Vasco. You see,
I'm on phone giving me problem now. Okay, so Nelson, I mean, the issue of the invitation for McGill, I mean, for me, it's welcoming. And because this delegate government don't know what they want. They don't do anything correctly. And at the end of the day, they will always fail in everything that they started to do. Because, look, any government will want to achieve, when you start something, make sure you conclude that identical thing, and then you can jump to the other person. We were just around here the few Samuel 12 and other guys, those guys went to jail. Have you people heard anything about that case again? Nothing. If you listen to what John Molu said about that, he just about to make Natana Mage another hero, maybe tomorrow again. So Mage is feeling now because a few days on the issue of the stealing a budget and doing will come to the issue of the budget. And these are the things we're going to be discussing, but next thing we want to bring it. Their government who want rescue, go see what they did in our budget. Look, tomorrow, Mage going over there. He will come from there. And you will hear from the same guys who are going to conduct this or many investigation. At the end of the day, nothing will come from there.
But Vasco, let's establish a few things here. Do you agree that the fact that Senator McGill served as Minister of State for Presidential Affairs,
Mm-hmm.
and that the LACC is carrying on an investigation on payroll pattern out of corruption, government malpractice in that particular entity, it is prudent enough to have him invited.
Which, of course, and Maguire made it very clear that he will go there.
So if you are agreeing that this action is the best thing to do, is the right thing to do, because he was there so that he helped with the investigation, where then does the witch hunt or the whole issue of targeting someone comes in?
Yeah, because on the issue, Maguire just had a press conference, and he will focus on the issue of the stealing that Baga didn't carry on in the budget that they just gave to the lawmaker. Okay, he one of those that spoke out. So based on that, to silence him now, calling, I understand. But trust me,
but Vasco, you're saying two things here. Maybe we were just, because you are saying that it is good. It's a good thing for this government to invite Senator Maguire since he served as Minister of State.
Yeah,
and they carry on the investigation.
Definitely.
And since it's a good thing, how does it become a form of targeting someone?
I'm quoting what Maguire said, Nelson. Maguire said that's how he feel. He made it clear that in the right.
Do you agree with him that he's being targeted?
I agree with him also. Although it's a good thing for him to go there, but I also agree with him that that's in English. I know that English can be hard sometimes. I agree with him on two fronts. For me, personally, as an individual, it is a good thing for him to go there. But I also agree with him that he feel that he's being targeted. But sometimes some of these things don't make no sense, because okay, you came to power, right? There's 728 people you're talking about. Those are Liberians. And we all know about the supplementary payroll.
That's what you have 30 seconds.
We all know about the supplementary payroll. There were no people that were stripping. Some of these guys will say they all. Some of these people will direct ministry. You can't, you already firing all these people, especially the ones to Ministry of State. You not fire every one of them, they get job again.
How many are making that Vasco?
Then you coming back now.
How many are making?
Let's go to Cindy. Let's go to Cindy. And then we can move to Raymond. Cindy, let's hear your take on this issue. Vasco, let's give it over to Cindy. Cindy, go ahead.
Nelson, I will be very quick on this. The letter was clearly written, and the letter was clearly read. Nothing there accusing current Senator McGill, then Minister of State McGill, of any crimes. They are basically saying, Senator McGill, you were in this position. There are certain transactions that took place. We do not understand certain things. Come, let us ask you questions and explain to us maybe some of the things that we are not getting. We think that certain things happened. You were in that position. You are the best person to explain to us what happened. Come and clear, the doubt. We need to understand what happened. Now, when he go there to explain, and if it's found that perhaps some malpractices were done while he was the minister, then that's a new case. Then it takes it to the next level. So I don't want us to sound accusatory. But for the senator himself, who has not been accused of anything, just calling him to explain, to clear some information, clear doubt, for him to go now on social media, sounding as if he has been accused and that he's being targeted. To me, that's a professional immaturity. Professional immaturity. so immature, so uncalled for. It's not okay for our country. That's inciting your people, buying sentiments from your people, from your supporters. That's what it is. Or the people send me letter, or they say I can't clear my name, but now the people targeting me because I have a stay on certain things, so now they're calling me. People that support you they will buy into that. They will buy into that. They could even get on the street. They could protest. They could riot. It shouldn't get to that point. The senators who are removed don't need to post anything. Go there tomorrow, explain or answer questions. And maybe, only maybe, if it goes to the next level where he feels that he have to go to court, or maybe he's directed to go to court, then maybe he could say something. But tomorrow is an easy flow. Go and answer certain questions. We need to understand what happened. And it is not wrong. Vasco, we live in the greatest democracy in the world, the United States. We're seeing that a former president is being taken from court to court. Former world leader, former president of the United States, the world's most powerful country, Donald J. Trump, is being taken from court to answer questions. So no one is above the law. So as soon as they send you a letter and you start crying, baby cry on social media, they're targeting me. Witch hunt. When will we get from that issue of witch hunt, people targeting me, to saying that, okay, this is actually good for our country? I serve in certain position. Certain things may have happened in that position. And if they call me to explain, it's good for our country. Let me go there as a state person, as a servant of the people, to explain what happened. It's good for our country. But to just start running to social media and crying, baby cry, they targeting me, that's a professional, immature act. And I think our leaders should desist from that.
Thank you.
They should desist from that.
Thank you, Cindy. Raymond, let's hear you on this one.
So first, I would like to urge the press, because there's a trend in our country, and the press, being the fourth estate in our country, has a major role to play. But the way media is conducted in our country is one of the problems and where we are. We run with a narrative and we sell fake news and the negative sentiments to our people who are so gullible and can't read between the lines and the thicket. The press is one of those responsible for this witch hunt thing with no semblance of witch hunt in our country. But when you got the power of the microphone and the airways, and every minute, every second, witch hunt, the people keep hearing witch hunt. The press is responsible to give accurate, balanced, and credible information to the people. And every time we speak, every time we ask a question, every time we raise a narrative, it should follow these three criteria. Is it accurate? Is it credible? Is it balanced? But these outrageous claims got no foundation on those three things. But here we are, got to discuss them. But let me first correct the LSCC that used their address and called the Chuppy Taylor Curve. Sorry. There's no official address in our country called Chuppy Taylor Curve. That's Devon Town. That's a town. Use the people town name, they don't use Chuppy Taylor Curve. You are a government entity for a reason. We got to have standards. You cannot just write anything in a letter, an official letter, and submit it, and you're being paid with taxpayers' money, and you should be a professional. Other than that, you could use Congo Town. There's nowhere in Liberia that is official called Chuppy Taylor Curve. She built a house. We shouldn't go about popular people naming communities after them. That's not the standard of naming anything anywhere in the world. That's the kind of way Liberia just, without any standard, anybody does anything anyhow, anyway. But I get back to the conversation. This is the same man yesterday we're discussing who said he want to clear his name from being accused falsely for sanction. He's the same one somersaulting today and saying wish hunt. You gotta be serious, man. But we know who hits the police officer the most, the criminals. We know who hit the DEA officers the most, the drug dealer. We know who hit the teacher the most, the dull student in class. So we can see the turn of events and we can deduce these things. The CDC will always cry wish hunt because their hands are caught in the cookies jar. They don't want justice in our country. And that's one of the reasons why we need a truth and reconciliation. I mean, a truth and economic court in our country. Even if we spend even if we spend 250 million, we can afford it. All the money that we allow people to steal in our country, we took a loan. We owe more than $1 billion. What happened to the Liberian people with that money? We saw during the judge we had tenure during the COVID-19, almost 25 million got taken to get food for the country. Nobody got it. So we need to set the foundation right. Other than that, we're not building a country. We're just messing around, fooling ourselves for 177 years. Do we have a nation to be proud of? With all of the resources and all of the finances that change hands in our country, what do we have? Until we build a foundation, look, and in life, you pay for what you get. If you don't spend your money right, you get bootleg things. And that's what we've been getting. We've been spending money in our country, but we got no value for money. Until we spend our money on the needful things, like justice, like an end to impunity, like holding those accountable for their crimes and atrocities committed in our country. We're going nowhere. And the injustice will be upon all of us who have stood up for nothing. We got to stand up for something. We got to leave a legacy for our children. We got to set this precedent so that our children who will be born later will realize that in Liberia, you don't mess around. If you steal, you go to jail. If you commit crimes, you will be held accountable. Until then, we are not doing anything serious. We're playing around. Thank you.
Thank you. Toure, let's hear you on this.
Yeah, here we go again. Here we go again. Another wish hunt. You know, apparently there's no surprise there. It seems like. So Nelson, we said certain things about the old man, what the old man are going to do. Liberia system have been so sort of like taking advantage of for so long that doing the right thing become offensive. That doing the right thing becomes sort of like, like a booby trap. Look, everybody read that letter. There is nothing that anybody who reading that letter, you see no wish hunt. You felt no wish hunt. It had a very positive tone, and it was written in a friendliest of manner there could be. There is no indictment in there to sort of give the former Minister of State with his response be like the way he put it. Do is calling for a press conference. You know why he's calling for a press conference? So folks like Vasco then can get right up, right? To then gain the street and say, yeah, we'll go again with another wish hunt. And it's sad. It is sad. Because you have someone who considers himself as a stakeholder, but he's speaking both sides of his mouth. On the other hand, he's holding the government accountable. Then when he is given an opportunity to go and clear his name, right, on something that's factual, you have 728, potential employees on your payroll, right? People are just saying, man, come and justify this. Come and make sense of this. That's all this is. But now we're talking about wish hunt. But people now that don't have the power of comprehension, people that don't really read between the lines, people that are not intellectually, mature to read this kind of communication, then you'll be left to get in the street for a man like how do you call him? Nathaniel Magee. And it is sad, Nelson. It is absolutely sad. And we all should reject this, including seditions, right? The president, this is how system should be about. People should be held accountable for everything, Nelson. When we start to let people ride on situation without absolute lack of accountability, any system, any country, any business, Nelson, that you see that there is no accountability, where we see family business, where the people go to, the low sister come from school, go to, that business will not prosper, Nelson. That business will not prosper because you know what? There is no check and balance. Everybody just doing whatsoever they want to do, right? This is what we're talking about. And I'm pleading to all seditions. I'm pleading to our brothers and sisters on the other side. Look, for Liberia to move forward, for all of us to enjoy Liberia, we will have to start to actually look at these things holistically and not just try to look at these things that someone is trying to wish on somebody on the other end, right? Because Nelson, until we all can come to terms with the fact that no country survives with the absence of lack of accountability. No country, absolutely not. People should be held liable for what they do, and people should be made to account for what they did. And until we can all agree on that, until we can all stop supporting politicians, career politicians that have done any or all things to perpetuate themselves in power by siphonning the resources of the people, we're not going to go anywhere. We're not going to go anywhere. And I continue to say this, and I'll say this, and I'll say this again and again and again and again. There is no CDC. There is no Unity Party. There is the Republic of Liberia. And until we can see this thing in time of governance, and I've said this, there will be opportunity for us to go back to the polls in 2029. That time will come. That time will come when we shall now go and try to sell our candidates. But this is not the time. This is not the time. This is the time to govern. And we should help support the system that is calling for accountability, transparency, and rule of law. That's it. And that's the Liberia, and that's the Liberia I desire. And that's the Liberia we all should be watching for. Thank you, Nelson.
Thank you very much, Ture. And with that, we want to go to the phone lines and pick few calls, and then we'll come back and have our say on this issue. The WhatsApp number is up. You can call via the number on the screen there and make your calls on WhatsApp. You can also call our local line 0555-101075, 0555-101075, and you'll be live on the program tonight. The late night show, the late night politics on Spoon. Let's see if we can take this person here. Hello, you're live. Your name and where you calling from?
Nelson, this is Tommy Jr. How are you, my brother? Can you hear me?
Okay, great. You are live. Let's hear you, sir. Tommy.
Hi, Nelson. I'm gonna just ask you just for a little bit of time, because I really want to provide some clarity on some things. The first one I want to start is with my brother, Ture. You know, Ture is my bro. I love this guy, but I wanted to provide some checks here. Ture mentioned something about, and this is about the War and Economic Crimes Court. He mentioned something about, that it can wait because the Naxi are now being prosecuted. And let me just provide some facts here to my brother. The reality is that the first court was set up 6 months after the end of the Holocaust to start prosecuting Nazi folks. The reason why you see people are being prosecuted now is because the Nazi generals, they went into hiding. They did not take up government position in post-war Germany. And it was difficult to identify some of them. That's why you see this is happening. But these guys have been prosecuted since 1945. And so that comparison, it's like comparing apples and German plum and, pun intended. And then I also want to provide clarity for Vasco. Vasco mentioned that the UN funded the war crimes court in Sierra Leone. That's not true. The UN supported the war crimes court. It was funded by the United States, by Britain, and even our northern neighbor, Canada. So those two I want to establish. And also, I'm going to end on this. Sierra Leone has benefited so much since the establishment of the War and Economic Crimes Court. Their legal system has been strengthened. They have received enormous support, financial support from the international community. Why? Because people feel like if they invest their money into that country now, if anybody steals it, they would be held accountable. The former senator was absolutely wrong. This is his opinion, but it is wrong. We can do two things at the same time. Sandy said we can walk and chew gum. We can do multiple things at the same time.
Thank you.
Establishment of or an economic crimes court will bring financial benefit to our country. Thank you for the time.
Thank you very much, Tommy, for your contribution. Hello, you're live. Your name and where you're calling from.
Thank you, and good morning to you, Nelson. And my name is Martin Singbetoba, and I do join you from Moraga this morning.
Okay.
And Mr. Good morning also, and good evening, or wherever your panel is. I want to say good evening, good morning to everyone. As it relates to the topic on the discussion, my input is that as it stands, I'm calling on Senator Mange, like he has intimated into his right out that indeed he's going to reach the LCC today, that is on the 21st of August. I think it is fine that he go there and give some level of information to the LCC. Let him just cooperate. But to write on the social media so as to call on to win the empathy from many cities, institutions, I think it is very below the belt.
Thank you.
And one thing we as Liberians, hello?
Yeah, just wrap up.
Okay, just a wrap up. One thing we as Liberians should be doing is that let us all stand for this country. If we just put our personal interest first, I think Liberia will not go anywhere. Let us fight corruption seriously. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Hello, you're live. Your name and where you calling from?
Hello, my name is William. I'm from Fargo, North Dakota.
Go ahead, William.
Yeah, Nelson. I'm so happy for the discussion tonight, and I do appreciate each and every panelist today. But sometimes, I would like to tell Nathaniel McGill, this is just a beginning, and when it comes to like, I am so pissed off with the government because they take it so long with some of those investigations. And some of those things was ever since, and then like somebody said, those guys that they carry them, like those past CDC government people that they take first and then put them in jail for a few times and then bring them outside again. If those people was to be judged and then put that precedent down, I think other government officials will going to learn more sense and stuff and things like that. But I don't know how it stands. And our court process, bro, Nathaniel Mangiel citizen will be jumping all around like brother tomorrow celebrating for nothing because they're going to say that because the letter said they only invited him for questioning. Nothing else they invited him for. So they will be jumping all around and say he win case. But I don't think it is a case they called him for. Asking you is not me your case.
Thank you. Let's hold you there. Hello, you're alive. Your name and where you come from?
Yeah, Nelson, good morning. I'm Agathon Davis calling from Tottenham, Bombay County.
Yeah, go ahead, sir. Let's hear you.
Yeah, my input is, the thing that make that McGill problem gruesome that making him blowing trumpet around here is that on the payroll, they were paying people $800 according to the information. Then they were giving them actual money, some money $200, $500. Why making him a threat? And that is a corruption. And secondly, to the work on code. Last week, I think I overheard on your station, Spoon, I heard from one of your panelists that America they have meeting with our justice minister concerning the work on code along with the gay and lesbian lacing business. So like they want to, because we don't have money, they want to use that means to be able to convince or to to legalize the LGBTQ around here. So that welcome business, I believe that will be dragging around here because like they don't have their own money to support this
You
war
know,
crime court.
the war crimes court is a separate conversation. All right, and our partners are coming in a whole different way with respect to supporting this. The call for justice and perpetrators of war crimes being brought to book is something that even the international community is pushing for. So that's 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 not something that has any connection. I just thought to throw
Yeah,
that.
but our justice minister were invited. Why you were invited concerning LGBTQ legalization in Liberia? That was making people getting concerned. He said that they want to twist our hand because we don't have money to support war crime court. That's what I'm saying.
No, but again, if the justice minister is being invited, you know that it will be for some legal issue. So where is this LGBTQ stuff coming from too? You know, there are times people will try to play the politics with most of these things, and you know that the War and Economic Crimes Court issue is something that is being seriously fought. You know, there are different sides to this thing. There are people who don't want the code to be established. There are people who are fighting for the code to be established. So let's watch and see how it goes. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Thank you very much. Hello, your name and where you calling from?
Hello.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, my name is John. I'm calling from Hawaii. I just want to provide some clarity. I see a lot of new guys in the studio. I worked 12 years with Ellie. You guys, from the analysis, a lot of people sound so new, you know. I worked 12 years with Ellie as a civil servant.
Okay.
I worked 12 years. I worked 6 years with George Weah as a civil servant. And I'm going to work another 6 years with President Bouaka as a civil servant. So I just want to draw to
you've been civil servant for 18 years now.
Yes.
18 years civil servant. And you're still moving on.
We're still moving. You don't just push away civil servants. The civil servants are highly educated people.
Okay, go ahead.
They cannot just be removed from a payroll just like that.
Yeah, let's hear you. Let's hear your take on the discussion.
I'm trying to draw some comparisons. So when Ellen took over, Ellen increased civil servant pay where there were few people.
Mm-hmm.
So there were a lot of money put into the budget for operational support, and things were really moving up. When Judge Weah took over, he cut down my salary from 1,500 to 600 as a master's student, and the payroll was overflooded. A lot of people were employed, and some of those people were half semi-educated people. So the guys from civil servant agency know exactly what happened to the payroll. So if you hear that they're taking out people from the payroll, it's actually coming from that end. So they know how the payroll was overflooded.
Thank you, sir.
So I just want to provide that clarity. So my next issue is
okay. Hello. I want you to please land on the next issue because we have a lot of people on the line. We have to take just 2 more persons and then we end up the calling segment. So please go ahead.
Yeah. So the next issue is I told myself, I said if there's 2 things. If John, as president, Weah never took part in the war, he could have signed the War Crime Court. If Ellie never took part in the war, she could have signed the War Crime Court. So Bouaka signing the War Crime Court shows something different. The next issue is prosecuting people, audit. John Weah refused to audit, and now Bouaka auditing. So we shouldn't look at that as a witch hunt.
But again, it's important. It's important to say here. No, I'm coming, sir. It's important to say here that a lot of the audit reports that are being talked about now, those were audits that were conducted under the previous administration. I just hope we can capture. But those reports were not the actions we're seeing now were not being taken relative to those reports.
Yeah, it was not made public like like what we are saying.
Okay.
So I would say it again, when Boycott leave office with what he has, well, what he's implementing currently, prosecuting people, he know definitely when he leave office, his officials or him will be prosecuted. So that's a very good start for the country.
Thank you very much. I want to squeeze in the final caller, and then we can wrap up on the call-in segment tonight on the late night show. Let's hope we can do this. Okay, so let me squeeze in this person. Hello, you are live. Let's hear you. Hello. Okay, too bad we lost that person. So we can come back to do our closing. And let's start with Bila, and we just go around the table.
Bila, you mute.
Bila, I don't know what's happening, but you're not coming through. Your mic is okay. No, apparently someone called you.
You gotta go out and come back in, Bila.
You got love on it, but you can't make it.
You can't make it, Bila. Rudolph, let's hear you.
Oh. Yes, I mean, I thought it was a good show tonight. I mean, after a long time being away, it's always good to be back here. Just to close on those two conversations that we were having, again, I maintain my stance. I think it's important that we spend money on the issue of the war in economic crimes court, like I said, because we have to set precedents so that many years from now, people will not feel like they can steal and do whatever they want to do and work with impunity, because all of our issues coming from poor infrastructure, poor education, poor healthcare, they are all rooted in corruption. And this is a huge step in fighting corruption. You can say, let's pay a blind eye and put money into education. Let's build new hospitals. Let's support hospitals. You can do it for the next 2 years, but guess what? In the third year, someone may steal that money, and you have people dying because the man is not used to being held accountable for his actions. So we are saying now these are all important things, but you can do both. I mean, our budget is around 700 million. What will it cost us, even if we have to spend for this code, which in reality we will not be spending that much because we have partners who are willing to support us. But just for the sake of argument, even if we are the ones spending the money, I think it's worth it. I think it's worth it. And to conclude, I mean, Mr. McGill is what he is doing. I mean, I feel like he is pretty much indicting himself, because this letter that we all just read here is clear and it's in simple terms. They are calling him for clarification. We have seen some things here, and we cannot go forward with our process because we don't understand. So you were in that position. Please come and help us to understand. That's all they are asking for. If I were McGill, I mean, and I feel like it was very immature of him to even make a post. I would have gone silently and do my thing and come back home, based on the resistance that I will meet at the LAC or the LACC. Then I will come back and make a post. But I mean, this whole witch hunting thing, Nelson, he just crying wolf when there is no wolf. Thank you.
Let's hope we can do this in 1 minute 30 seconds. Again, I'm going to set the timer so that we do this just within the time frame. Bida, you want to do your closing? I hope we can get you clearly this time around.
Yeah, I hope I'm good. Look, thank you, and thank you to all those that are phoned to make their contribution to the show. And let me say, it's a great day for Liberia. Sedition, I think, like I said, sedition need to change the measure of witch hunt and try to see the issue of accountability from different angles. I mean, over the past period of time, you guys have cried. The president is slow. The president was not doing anything about transparency and accountability. When there are steps in relation to these things, you see as a situation. On the issue of Senator Communist Wisdom, I think it is important that justice be served to those who deserve justice. Like Sandy said, one of the callers said, it is very important. We can handle two things at the same time, right? We can be handling some economic issues at the same time we look at war and economic crime, because when you look at war and economic crime, it is part of the agenda. It falls under the rule of law that this government ran on during campaign time. So I think the Joseph Barker administration needs to look at the war and economic crime. People are yearning for it, and we need to get it as to getting some level of relief. Thank you very much. And I want to say thanks to all of the guys here. It was a great moral education.
Ture, let's hear you, sir. Your timer is set.
Yeah, look, I totally agree that we can do two things at the same time. But if you're in a country that don't have the luxury to do two things at the same time, you prioritize things that are needed. All right? Look, Labrador does not have the luxury. We lost that after the war. Ellen Johnson Sirleaf was given the opportunity to establish the court. She did not. That money is not available no more, right? We're talking about a war economic that is not coming like the way it once were, okay? So we need to put these things into context. I'm not saying I'm against the establishment of a war crime court, because I know it don't matter how long it takes. Justice still need to be served, all right? But we have so many complex of issues. We're talking about life demanding issues in a country that need to be confronted head on. All right. So let's give these kind of issues attention. We have agriculture. How much are allocated for agriculture in this past budget? Talking about what, $6-7 million? Come on, man. This is what we're talking about. To even establish a court, to even establish offices for the court right now, they're talking about anywhere around $5 to $6 million. Where is that money coming from? Okay, so look,
thank you.
We can talk about this until tomorrow, but I want to know where that money coming from. And even if that money is coming from somewhere, there are other things that we need to do with that money, man. I'm sorry.
Thank you, Ture. Raymond, your 1 minute 30 seconds is now rolling. You're closing, sir.
So again, it was a great evening where we could discuss our diverse opinion and views, where we agree to disagree with one another, but still speak truth to power our fear and favor. The issue about the war and economic crime code is a paramount thing. Because of injustice, we went to war. Because of the lack of accountability, we went to war. Because of these things, impunity, corruption is at its height in our country. With every other government marred with massive corruption. What is more a priority than that? Please convince me. There's nothing more a priority than setting the foundation right for Liberia, or us setting the truth, the war crime code, where closure can come to atrocity carried out against our people. Some people are not alike. They don't have the luxury to speak for themselves. Their blood have soaked in the ground. Their ghosts have gone to be with the Creator. We sit down here and we're talking about eating rice, wearing clothes and going to hospital and feeling good when our brothers and sisters have gone and we can't do nothing for them. Shame on anybody with an argument.
Thank you.
Nothing more a priority than giving justice to those who've lost their life and can't even speak for themselves. We want comfort when other people lost their life. What comfort we need? We don't deserve comfort if we can't get justice to those who lost their life in a manner. We don't deserve nothing. We don't deserve peace. We don't even deserve food to eat if we can't give justice to those who died, who someone took an authority and slaughtered them. You know how many things happen to the people that we're sitting out here talking about? We got priority. We got no priority.
Thank you, Raymond. Your time is up. Let's give it over
more
to
than 700 million a year that we spend on other things. We're stealing money around here.
Vasco, let's hear you now. Your 1 minute 10 seconds is rolling now. You're close.
Thank you, Nelson. I think for me, I want to close like this. I think the discussion today, the two topics, to me, it was just a waste of time. Yeah. Some of these issues, I mean, we just need to leave it. and watch these people to see what they will do. Calling McGill and Walker and Co. Let's see the seriousness. If they come, we all embrace it. But I don't want to be talking on it. Nursing today, there was a Center Street. And I want us. Not every day we come here, we promote government. We talk something what the government doing.
You said we what? We promote government?
We promoting government. Most often when we come here, we talk about what the government doing. Oh, government catching the other person, government doing it. But the key factor in our country, nursing, is the people. The citizens, the people suffering. Everything prices go up in the country. Today I saw Center Street. I felt so bad. Now we don't have a Jersey coaching again. We have a train, a renowned man from America. But go see Center Street today. We're not discussing these things. Grace Spending store 500,000 clear money. We don't talk it. Then you jumping all over running behind other people, then you don't cash. You get a road right in your system. You catch the road in.
Let's take Cindy and Mama will take us home. No, but 1 minute 30 seconds. Cindy, please go ahead. We have to close now. We're seriously out of time.
Nelson, thank you. You guys can hear me, correct?
Yeah.
Well, thank you. Look, I do not want to go back to the two topics discussed. I also agree that some of what we discussed tonight has been discussed here lengthily, and sometimes we just need to pass and go on. But I started an opening that was not intended on agriculture, and I just want to end on that again, just encouraging all of us, young people, young Liberians, to get into agriculture. Whether you are growing, plantain, whether you are doing, livestock, whether you are into growing anything, but mostly we should start to grow things that we can eat, things that we can sell. Liberia as a nation, our people should not be heavily importing peppers from Guinea, for instance. People shouldn't be in the rural areas and still asking, buying peppers or other things that could be easily planted. I think sometimes we can solve some of our problems as a people and to just depend on government. If you are watching other young people around other countries like Uganda, Ghana, and several other countries, a lot of young people are now, getting up and getting into agriculture, and they are becoming millionaires overnight. Don't wait for the government to do it for you. You got to get up and do it for yourself.
Thank you, Cindy. Mobile, finally, close us tonight.
Yeah, thank you, Nelson, and guys, thank you, man. Listener, you guys, thank you so much. It was a great show. We come here every day to discuss the Liberian people issue. My closing, I just want to tell the Liberian people tonight. I don't want to, inform them that with this step the government is taking, let all embrace it, or we should put a government feet to fire, for them to prosecute people carrying it. If the investigation go on, if they found guilty for corruption, let them bear the consequences. Like, we all understand. I think that's why the Liberian people and I want to appeal to the Liberian people. Our brother from the other side, which is the CDC, that's the Natana Mange issue. You shouldn't take it to pull it on your head. You should embrace the government. You guys should stand with the government to fight corruption, because without our nation fighting corruption, there will be nothing will go on. Because end of the day, people that keep sitting, look at the Senate, look at the House of Representatives. Then the people that making you poor again. Then you get people who there do they past 6 years, they loot the country to the extent that you get look.
15 seconds.
Sometimes when you see the money, man, the people calling on the radio or on the paper that the people take from you just tell and say, you know what, you don't deserve the entire Senate and the House of Representatives. That be only president to run our country, and the president should be somebody who will rule iron hand in the right direction. That's it. Because there's no rule. That's something, man.
Thank you very much. That's how I would like to end up tonight on the late night show. I want to appreciate everyone for being here. Thank you, Bila. Thank you, Rudolph. Thank you to Ray. Thank you, Raymond. Thank you, Vasco. Thank you, Cindy. Thank you, Moba, as well. We look forward to being here again tomorrow with another edition of the program. Until then, Have a good night, everyone. And thanks to our followers across the comment section, our own dear sister Shirley, Tommy Jr., Comfort, Mary Finayima, all of you, man, we appreciate you. And thanks for being here with us tonight. Bye-bye for now.